Legacy Maker, the All Sports
The
Network.
place is here and the time is now. Let's take it round for round. And people gather round. Let's see who can win the crown. All the marbles involved. Football, baseball, or golf. Who's dominating the hoops? Who's talking false or the truth? Yeah, come and show me your war face. I'll show you my war face. No holds bars up for your sake. You better show up in good shape. Valuable information is key to your domination. So focus on preparation. Online is your reputation. Here's one-on-one. You and me, ain't no fear in me. You will see. When it comes to this, you'll be wearing the number 23. In debate, I hold my weight cause these sports I'm attached to it. Your legacy, get ready cause I'm gonna set a match to it. Hey. Burn them. Fire, 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 burn them. Fire, 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 burn them. Fire, 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 legacy on fire. Fire, 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 burn them. Fire, 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 legacy on fire. Fire, 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 burn. Fire, 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 legacy on fire.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Legacy on Fire here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network, and of course, airing on the amazing Bowie Television. Look, everybody, episode 78. We got a lot to get into today. We want to talk a couple NBA issues. We'll talk a little MLB, but also going to start to get into our NFL previews. And today we're previewing the AFC East and the NFC East, two very highly contested divisions. And we can't wait to see kind of what the experts have to say about what they have going on in those divisions today. Well, let me go ahead and introduce you to the panel. To my left, he is a co-founder of the Legacy Maker Sports Network, co-host of the J&J podcast, and guys, it's pretty cool. Mr. Jay Quimby, how you doing today, sir?
Doing well. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm here. That's the first shot. That's the first step. Below him, longtime member of the Legacy Maker Sports Network, team member of Commonwealth Sports Talk. I can go on and on and on. Mr. Lamonte Thomas, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. It's good to be back with the guys. What's up?
Hey, it's good to have you, man. And of course, last but not
least, you so much.
And then, of course, the host of the Sit Down with Joey Raymond, Mr. Joey Raymond. How you doing today, Joey?
Dude, I'm doing good. Today's been a little chaotic, but it's been a good day. We're here.
That's the first step. We just got to be here. So with that getting started, let's go ahead and start off with one sentence. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the first one sentence is a fun one. College football 26 is here. So I just kind of want to get you guys' thoughts. If you've played the game, great. If you haven't, are you going to play the game? And then on top of that, just kind of want to know who you're going to play with when you get the game or if you get the game. Let's go ahead and get this one started here. Very excited to see how this one goes. Lamont, I'm going to start with you first, brother. Your one sentence on college football 26 and, who you're going to play with, all that fun stuff.
My one sentence has got to be, let's build a dynasty. That's what it's about. Listen, in 25, man, I had a good time. I like trying to take over as a coach, man, and building the program. It's so fun to me. And last year I found my way taking over Florida State and, trying to get them back to the old days. So I was like, let's do it. Reminded me of when we went to the ACC Media Day, all that good stuff. It was a good time. So I'm ready for it. And yeah, I don't know who I'm going to get, but I'm going to try to build a dynasty, man. That's what it's about.
Start off with the dynasty. Joey, I'm going to go with you next, man. We kind of had a preliminary on this. I kind of know where you are already, but kind of go ahead and give us your insight on this college football 26. I know it's here, and who you decided to go with and all that fun.
Yeah, no, I got the deluxe edition, so I've been playing since Monday. I've already started a dynasty. I started my road to glory yesterday, and so I decided to rep the alma mater because I put my high school up in team builder and put that on road to glory because you can do that this year. And I've had a lot of fun. I ended up building an entire conference. I made 14 teams on team builder and did that too. So it's been a little chaotic, but my Virginia Tech dynasty, we just won a natty literally like 10 minutes before the show started. So, I mean, look, dude, you got to do what you got to do.
Oh boy, well, go Hokies, I guess. I don't know. I can't do that out loud. Jay,
that hurt.
That did hurt.
You should have got that soundbite for sure.
Hey, I'm an advocate, man. I'm ready for you to get this new game system, brother. Come on, man. Tell me this is the year that you get 26 so you can take the Buckeyes to championship glory.
I know, because I'm still playing on my regular Xbox. I love it. I'm going to stick with it until it gives out. So,
man, what you going to do when it gives out, man? You got to step up there. You got to get your new system.
Then I guess that's when I got to step up. But until that point, it's chug-a-logging along, and I'm still playing Madden 11.
That's hilarious. But look, one day, man, because I can't see you not taking Ohio State to a championship. I know the man below you ain't gonna like that, but I mean, at least once, right?
I don't got to do it on a game. We did it in real life, so.
Hey, look,
okay.
I congratulated him too because I know how hard it is to get it.
Oh, that's great. So I haven't played yet. I probably will play at least once tonight. I don't know. I think I might start off with the Road to Glory and see how it goes. That's what I did last year. I did Road to Glory, and then after I did that one, it was just me and the Dynasty for the rest of it. I made UVA the only time they'll ever be national champions is when I played with them last. So, like, I mean, at some point, we got to rebuild things in Charlottesville and get Sky Stadium rocking, and maybe get that crowd, crowd noise up to a trillion or whatever. We got to get that rolling. But, I'm not gonna lie to you. As a Wahoo fan, it's gonna hurt to even say this, but I am kind of low-key excited to see what it's like when you go into Blacksburg and then you hear them hit with the Sandman. I was like, when I heard it was on the game, I'm like, yeah, I gotta at least hear that.
It's really cool.
It is. I'm not, and that's coming from So I am excited to kind of see that, but hopefully be the process. That's the only way it's going to happen. Is when I can do it on the video game.
But from what I've read, Joey, maybe you can put something behind this. Is the transfer portal is brutal.
It is tough. I ended up actually having to go in. Thank God they allowed the ability to turn it down.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, and you can actually limit how many players can transfer if you so chose to. But yeah, like my first year out of VT, like legitimately everybody was gone. Like I didn't keep like daggum near anybody. I mean, if they could transfer, they did. It was rough.
It's funny. I saw somebody online was like, "Man, I made it." He said, "I won a bowl game. We 9-3, felt pretty good about it, and half of the team transferred." He said half of them left. I'm like, half of the team? Oh, I said, oh, that's gonna be chaotic. They're gonna have somebody throwing stuff through the television screen and stuff. That's not a good deal.
But hey, anymore, if you think about it, it's realistic. I mean,
it's true. That's true. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, let's head to our next one on one sentence and talk a little bit about Mr. Tyler Halliburton. Now, I want you guys to give one sentence on this situation. Obviously, the finals have been over for a couple of weeks, but we did find out the day before yesterday that Halliburton is done for the 2025-2026 season. And that's got to be an extremely tough blow to the Indiana Pacers, especially after, the things they did to, to be able to even get to this point and come this close to winning their first NBA championship. Jay, I'll start with you first. One sentence. Do you think Tyler Halliburton should have ever even played Game 7? Should have just rested him and let it go? I know it's easy to look at it in hindsight, but what would have done?
Well, let's be honest. He's competitive. He would have played. Let him play because he's the reason that they made it as far as they did. Without him, they wouldn't even made it to the finals or to a Game 7. I mean, I really think he was the difference in the fact of why, the Thunder are the champs and it's not the Pacers.
Yeah, it was tough to watch. Seeing them go down early. For those who do parlays out there, it did not go with some very upset people when, they had them going on the over. But I ain't saying no names. Lamont, I head to you next. Lamont. What are your thoughts on Tyler Halliburton? Should he ever played? I mean, now that he's here that we know for a whole year, We won't see him till the 2026-2027 season. Do you think they should have sat him, or do you think, hey, he should have been out there trying to win his team that championship?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the goal of playing this game is to win titles, right? And I think that, Tyrese Halliburton is he is the Pacers. I mean, him and Siakam single-handedly carried them there, like Jay said. And I don't think he should have sat, because the question is for him is it. Well, I think it has to be his choice, right? If he doesn't think he should sit, then he shouldn't sit, right? Because he's going to do everything he can to help this team. And like Jay said, I mean, who knows what could have happened? He hit 3 or 4 threes, right, at the beginning of that game, and they were shooting poorly. Had that carried them over to the win, right, I don't think we'd be having the same conversation, right? If the tides are turning and they win the championship. So, no, I say no.
Yeah, I can feel you on that. I mean, it was a very, very tough decision. Joey, ahead to you, brother. What would you have done in this situation? If you're Indiana, are you sitting your star out there? You're like, no, we got enough to surround us. We got an NBA champion and Siakam, who knows how to get there. Do you lay put all your eggs in this basket? What would you do?
Hey, I don't change a daggone thing. I let them play, because at the end of the day, like, dude, legacies are built on nights like that. And if you want to go out there and win, you're going to ride the hot hand. You're going to ride the guy who's, gotten you that far. And at the end of the day, yeah, it sucks that, we're not going to see him for, another season. But that's the risk you take, right? If you want a ring, if you want a championship, you do anything and everything in your power to get that dub. And that includes playing injured. Like, I know that's not a very popular thing nowadays, but at the end of the day, that's what champions are made of. You go out there, regardless of whether you're hurt or not, and you try to get your team the dub. And if you don't, at least you can say that you laid it all out there on the line. Like, at the end of the day, if Halliburton never makes it back to a championship, he can at least rest on his laurels knowing, hey, I went out there and I gave it my all. And at the end of the day, that's really all that you can say. And so, no, I would have let him play. I mean, yeah, I do agree that, it should have probably been his decision. And I mean, Lord knows he would have said, I'm going to play anyways. But I mean, yeah, like when it comes down to, game 7 of the finals, I don't care what sport you play, you're going out there.
You got a fist fight in there. I think, there could be a lot of second thoughts on it and how you feel on it, but I can't be mad at the man going out the shot. You hate to see it happen. You hate to see him go down that way. But like you said, Joy, you can go back and say, I gave it everything I had. You gave it everything you had. And unfortunately, the Thunder took advantage of it, for Indiana fans out there. And, they are the NBA champions. Last one on one sentence. Let's talk about some baseball. Let's talk about this AL MVP race that's cooking between Aaron Judge and Kyle Raleigh. And right now, I just kind of want to know you guys one sentence on this. Plus, who do you have as the midseason MVP under this one? So I'll start this one off with Joey. Joey, midseason AL MVP, is it Aaron Judge or Kyle Raleigh?
The politically correct answer would be to say Aaron Judge, but here's my take on this. Everything that Aaron Judge is doing, Cal Raleigh's doing as a catcher. And people don't understand how hard it is to be a catcher. Because not only do you have to go out and hit like everyone else does, not only do you have to go out and play your field your position as well as everyone else does, but you also have to be able to know the opposing lineup and anything and everything about them, and then know anything and everything about your pitcher. And that's a really difficult task to ask of anybody, because the amount of knowledge that you have to be a catcher is astronomical. That's why I could never do it. And so the fact that Cal Raleigh, aka the Big Dumper, if whichever one you want to call him, also the man with the greatest bobblehead in the world, genuinely everything that he's doing is right there with Aaron Judge and he's being a catcher, I got to give it to Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm not trying to be a homer on this one. I really ain't. I'm surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you. I knew he was good. I knew they paid him the money for a reason. I didn't know he was gonna be this good, and that's all I can say. But to me, it doesn't matter. I need to be in the playoffs. Jay, I'm heading to you next, brother. Who is your AL MVP? Is it Raleigh or is it Aaron Judge?
Well, I agree exactly with what Joey said. The cerebral part of the game, Cal Riley, I mean, basically you give Aaron Judge a small tree and he walks up and wallops one. And that's what happens. Where Riley, he's doing all of it. He's working with the bat and he's working with the pitchers daily. So he's got to work on both sides, offense and defense, have you say. And, I mean, he is making it look great. And then you look at the effect they're both having on their teams. Right now, they're getting ready. I think they're starting a series today where the Yankees versus the Mariners. But they're only 3 wins difference right now between the teams. So, for me, it's Raleigh. Because, I mean, they knew he was going to be – who was that guy y'all traded to the Yankees? Mike Manoz or whatever, who was never was.
Oh man, that's a toss back right there.
I'm old.
That's a toss back right there. It's been a while. That's a good one.
Remember, he was supposed to be the next catcher. You finally got one.
Yeah, it's nice. And to piggyback on a little bit, catchers. That's why you see a lot of catchers become managers, because they know the game. It's like you see the point guard in basketball. Maybe point guards, usually become head coaches. But in this case, you see why catchers become managers, because they just have to know a little bit of everything. Lamont, we head to you next, brother. Who you got for the AL MVP?
Why, Joey?
I agree with both of these guys. I mean, I think that the answer would be Cal Raleigh. When you think about it, he's doing it on both ends, and I think we're looking at like what could be the greatest season for a right-handed hitter versus what could be the greatest season for a catcher, right? And talking about how hard it is, you kind of give them the nod, but I think just because of what the game loves to see, just like in football, but people love to see touchdowns. In basketball, people love to see three-pointers. In this game, people love to see home runs. They love to see someone hit the ball. And I think because Aaron Judge is, numero uno when it comes to that, I think you got to give it to him. Well, I would understand, I would say, if you give it to him, but I would not be mad at all if Cal Raleigh wins the MVP.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm excited to see it. I'm glad the Mariners are getting some attention. 4 All-Stars, which I'm going to sit there and surprise. I was very surprised to see them get 4 All-Stars, but very happy to see that, some attention is coming there, but it don't make no difference. It don't make the playoffs. And, I just don't want to be the only team in the league, which we are, that have never been to the World Series. That's a sour taste in my mouth. I need that to change. That's all. I'm not asking for a lot. No, I am asking for a lot.
Well, I mean, Judge is supposed to hit home runs, but in hindsight, right now, Cal's got 2 more home runs than he does.
Yeah, and let's say they got 5 games left, and he needs 40 or 41 to get the it's 40 or 41 to get the All-Star break record. So it'll be interesting to see if he can push that, because he still surprised me every time I turn around. There's another Cal Raleigh home run. I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
Well, and hey, Judge might get it because he's in New York, and at the end of the day, like that might be all it takes, is that Aaron Judge is a Yankee. But yeah, again, I think Cal Raleigh definitely deserves it. Also, I just sent all of y'all a picture of his bobblehead, which is incredible, and it's literally like.
It's Kim Kardashian with a white
head. And the bobblehead is called the Platinum Dumper. Like, it is hilarious. It is the greatest bobblehead in the world, and I want one to add to my wall.
The Platinum Dumper is the craziest. Oh, wow.
That is crazy.
Seattle Mariners, if you're somehow watching this, if you want to send me a Platinum Dumper bobblehead to put on the wall, that'd be great.
Do it.
Wouldn't it be great if they made both ends wobble?
Apparently they asked to do it, and like I forget the reason why they didn't have his butt jiggle, but apparently Cal Raleigh even was like, "Why does my butt not jiggle?"
The Savannah Bananas were like, no.
No twerking for your catcher. No twerking for your catcher. I think that's what that is. Thank goodness. I'm glad they decided. That was a very smart executive decision by somebody.
I'm gonna have to find the video of because they are playing the Yankees currently, and like last night they were talking about his nickname and how he got the Big Dumper nickname, and so the Yankees broadcast like zoomed in right on Cal Raleigh's butt. It was hilarious.
There's so much to go with that. That's crazy. Come on, Yankees. What are we doing here? That's it with one sentence. Now we're gonna head over to the fire starters. All right. So with this first one, with the fire starter, this first one, I want everyone to name a athlete that you would love to see on another team. They could need a scenery change. It could be something, just something that you think, maybe one person that you would like to see go somewhere else. And where would you like that person to go? Jay, I'll start with you first, man. If you had one athlete that you'd like to see somewhere else, where would you want them to go and why?
Well, we'll stick with Major League Baseball. For me, he's my favorite player right now on my team. It would be Jose Ramirez, because all that talent is being wasted right now on a team that the Dolans are doing nothing with, trying to win a chip. Once 17 was done, they traded Bo Naylor basically for a half-chewed stick of bubblegum. And he was the heart of that team. And then right now, we lost 9 in a row until the other day. We finally won one. So, I mean, yes, I know it's a small market team. So sell it, be done with it, and let somebody else manage it.
Yeah, look, I think on my franchise on the show, Jose Ramirez is my third baseman. Like he got traded to Seattle on my road to the show. So he's helped me get 2 World Series rings. I may not get them in real life, but he's helped me on the show. I'll take him one way or the other. Lamont, we head to you, brother. If there's one athlete that you could just send them somewhere else, where would you send them and why?
I'm gonna take it to the NBA, and this is for all the reasons, right? For them to win, for this person to have a fair shot. I'm going to go with Zion Williamson. Like, I feel like if he goes to a halfway decent spot, right, other than New Orleans, of course, he's been dealing with injuries and staying healthy. That just comes with, his size and whatnot. But for as much electricity as he's had in the college game, right, he was supposed to set the NBA on fire. And even if you've watched the spurts that he has played, he's been incredibly dominant, right? I just think that if he lucked up and got a better squad, who knows how good he could have been or how, what the potential would be. So I say free Zion Williamson.
And that's interesting. Is there anywhere in particular you'd like to see him go?
I thinking about realistically, right? I feel like if he had landed in Atlanta and got to play with Trae Young, 2 young guys, point guard with a big man, like the old days, right? I just feel like that could have been magic, right? And in the market, they would have killed. City would have been on fire.
That would have been that's a good poll. Atlanta's a really good poll,
right?
Lemon Pepper Lou, they got the new ones.
Pepper Lou
down there, get it in. Now, Jay, I meant to ask you. So, with Jose, where would you like to see Jose go?
Atlanta, or
wow, they don't need. What are we? We're really trying to help the city of Atlanta, aren't we?
Well, I mean, literally every other position on the infield looks good. The outfield is decent, and they have all right pitching. So, I mean, I'm trying to find an open third base position. And I don't want to send him to Seattle because the last time y'all had a great third baseman, he didn't really put up the numbers that he should have with Beltran.
Oh, I knew you was gonna bring it up. Oh my God. Adrian, oh my God, I'm still mad about that because you know that he spent 2 years in Seattle, left, and as soon as he left, he won a World Series with the Red Sox. I was hot. I was like, nah, bro, that ain't it. That ain't it. Joey, we head to you, brother.
I will say this before I get into my take. I don't think Jose's going anywhere because he signed that big deal specifically so that he would not leave Cleveland.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't think he will either, but they, every time we get a prospect, we send them to the Brewers or some shit.
Or the Padres. Or the Padres.
Padres.
That's true. That is true.
Hot dog night.
Joey, we head to you.
I'm going to stick with Major League Baseball, though, because I'm so tired of Mike Trout not doing jack. Like, let's get him out of L.A. because that franchise is clearly not doing him any favors. Like, I mean, he's getting to a point where, like, he's getting up there in age, and, like, I just want to see him get one ring because otherwise he's going to go down as the greatest player to have ever played baseball and not receive a World Series ring.
He'll be the Dan Marino of MLB.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, I can't do it, man. You got to get him out of LA, and I know that he really likes it there. But if anything, flip him to the Dodgers. I personally would like to see him go to Philly because that's where that's where he's from. So
right.
A little hometown magic going on there. But like, hey. If he wants to stay in LA, flip him to the Dodgers and get him a ring. Like, just get this man out of the system.
I feel like we've been saying that since
the
Olympics.
And it's so sad because Trout has been the multiple MVPs, all that fun stuff. And it's like you're wasting your talent. It feels like that. Now, he may love it because his family loves it there. His kids, probably going to school there. He doesn't want to upend them. I understand that, but he'll be like the greatest what if because he's only been to the playoffs like once, if maybe twice. He doesn't get to go to the playoffs every year. He's consistently an MVP candidate, and it's like, bro, you're just wasting it. Ohtani was at least like, no, I can't do this no more. At least Ohtani was like, I can't do this no more. I got to get out of here. And what happens on Ohtani leaves? He gets a World Series ring. So I feel you on that one. I was gonna go NFL on this one because we didn't go NFL, but I'm actually going to go NBA, and I'm going to go with Chris Paul. Chris Paul this will be his 20th season in the league, and yes, he did make it to a NBA Finals. And they came up just a little bit short, but he's a guy that I would love to see get a ring. It's almost like how Carmelo was. Carmelo was in the league for so long; he was so good. He just never got that that championship ring. But out of this generation of players, Chris Paul, like on NBA 2K, 6, like NBA 2K. I had the game when he was on the cover. Like,
hey, he's our age, man.
Yeah. Like
he was a rookie in 06, actually.
Or he was a rookie in 06. So like, yep. I had that NBA. That was the first NBA 2K I got for Xbox 360 when I got my first Xbox 360. So I want to see him go to a place where I think he can win a ring. Now, I don't know if they're going to use. I don't think KC would need him because of what they've got going on now. He was there at one point with them. But I think I would like to see him go to a place like Boston. I know that's not. I'm sorry.
LT's face.
I would say Boston. The Rockets would be
back in Houston.
Look, with Durant down, I feel like I want to go to a place where I know for a fact that he could more likely get a ring.
Boston would be it.
Boston's the spot, but I wouldn't be opposed to Houston. All right, there it is for the first fire starter. On the next fire starters, we're going to talk about the top 5 NFL running backs heading into the 2025 season. I can't wait to hear this one because we've seen a lot of greatness from the running back position in the last couple of years. It's trying to make a comeback. It's trying to do some really good things, but unfortunately, maybe there's some people that say they don't deserve to get paid. And we've had that conversation here on this show. But I just wanted to hear you guys, your top 5 running backs heading into the season. Lamont, I'll start with you first.
All right. I think, with the year that he's had, you got to give it to Saquon. So that's number one. And in no particular order, I still put Derrick Henry up there because he's just such a workhorse and comes at the end of the season. It's like seeing the train coming down the tracks. Nobody wants to tackle him. I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs because he's had a remarkable season last year, even with that two-back system. And I think that, he's got a bright, bright future. And then from there, I'm going to go Bijan Robinson. And I think the Falcons have no choice, right, but to just give that man the football. And then lastly, I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey. I know that he's had his injuries. I know that they've had their struggles. But talent-wise, he's still the man, right? And he can do everything. And he can do everything just as good as anyone. And so that's my top 5.
Oh, man, that's good. That's a solid top 5, sir. Solid top 5. And I feel like a couple of those names are going to be on everybody's list. But I wouldn't be surprised there. Before we jump into that, we want to give a shout-out to the Not Bland Show for tuning in and checking us out. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. He said, I wish I could have had a PC because it's not on there talking about college football 26. Just wish that he had it on there. Our man George McKenzie. It's been a long time for my man George.
Oh, is George in there? What's up, bro?
There, man. George says Denver
George is alive.
George said Denver would be a good look for CP3 too, and let Murray run the 2 spot. Actually, that's not a bad idea. You can bring him in there and really, really have him do some really good things. I mean, and because we know Westbrook is still a free agent, and I don't think Westbrook is coming back. So I could like that. And then George, of course, gets a little sad because of Saquon. So sorry, George. I understand completely. As a Giants fan, I know it's tough.
Wait for our predictions, bro. You'll need your
coming up next. So be
pillow.
ready. He's gonna be hot. Jay, we head to you next, man. Give me your top 5 running backs.
Well, I'm pretty dang close to what LT said. I got Barkley, of course, with what he did last year. I think he's going to continue down being the best running back in the league. Got Gibbs. Gibbs revealed himself as a scoring machine. He can catch. He can run. And all they did was make that team better. I mean, yes, they lost Ben Johnson, which is huge, but they still have the same offensive system. I think they'll be fine. Derrick Henry, until that man, if you see him coming at you, you're going to dig a hole and just be like, peace. And then McCaffrey's McCaffrey. We know what we're getting. And the only one I got different from LT is Josh Jacobs. What he did up there at Green Bay.
Beast.
Yes, I love Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs had a good year. I was very proud. But now we need somebody to protect him. But that's another story. Joy, we head to you, man. Your top 5 running backs heading into the season.
Well, obviously, at number 1 is still Saquon. I mean, we're just going to, tally on what everyone else said. Derrick Henry at number 2 because, I mean, like LT said, I mean, that dude is a, running refrigerator. I don't know that anybody wants to be – even the 300-pound linemen don't want to be with him in open space. They're going to die. And then number 3, I've got Bijan Robinson. I think LT had a lot of really good points. I mean, you can just legitimately keep handing it to him and just let that man go to work. Number 4, I put Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that he's a really good running back. And then number 5, I have Josh Jacobs. And then I'm going to pull a hot take. Most people will put McCaffrey at number 6, but I'm calling it right now. And you can hold it, hold me to it at the end of the football season if I'm wrong. But Ashton Genty is going to be on that top 5 list if we have this exact same conversation next year. I'm calling it right now. That dude is a monster.
Well, the rookie class of running backs, I mean, even it was hard not to put Harvey on there for the Broncos because, I mean, that's what they were missing from that offense firing on all cylinders.
Can we go back to that question when we want to see an athlete on another team talking about I don't like that silver and black at all. I don't like it. Can we do it like the stadium over there in that place and just put a sphere on it and paint it another color?
Hilarious.
Because I'd love that.
Funny. I mean, look, that may be something you could talk to him about. But I don't know if they're going to get rid of the Death Star they got going on out there. And all.
I really thought the Broncos were going to try to get Henderson, to be honest.
Yeah, look, man, I think Henderson's going to have a really good year in New England. My top 5, got to go with Saquon. Saquon's killing it. I mean, what we saw from him last year was crazy. And I was a big person when it came to like having him go for the 2,000 yards, and they decided not to do it. And I think I remember saying, I'm like, look, if you're not going to have this man go for the 2,000 yards, you better win the Super Bowl. Okay. All right, say less. You won.
Hey, they at least asked him, and he's like, let the other guys have a shot at doing something.
Yeah, he did. And he did that a couple times during the year. There was one time, like I think against the Giants, where he was beating up on the Giants, and they told him, he was like, hey, man, you want to go for your single game record? He was like, no, I'm good. I was like, that's a good mindset to have on a team right there, especially when you're the best, if not the best number one running back in the league, the number 2 running back, depending on how you feel about it. At number 2, I got Derrick Henry. I thought Derrick Henry year last year was phenomenal. I think that the Ravens did him an in-service sometimes because, like, you bring in Derrick Henry, you got to feed him. Like, that playoff game was weird to me. You're in the snow. You got to find a way. And I know it's slippery, but you got to find a way to make Derrick Henry special. Then I got Jahmyr Gibbs. I got Jahmyr Gibbs at 3, Josh Jacobs at 4. And then at 5, and this may be a little bit of a, I don't want to say a weird one, but maybe. I'm actually going to go with, I think he's going to have a really good year this year. This is my pick for my really good person. And that's Chuba Hubbard from the Carolina Panthers. I think he might surprise people this year. Low key.
I hope so.
I thought he was having a really good year last year. He got nicked up a little bit. But I got a feeling that he could have a really good year. They paid him. And I think Carolina's going to be real, like, sneaky. Like, I'm not going to say they're going to win 10 games. I'm not going to be.
Don't do this to me, man.
I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't
give me hope.
I'll give him
do it to him.
But I feel like the Carolina Panthers will improve, and that's another episode when we get to that, to that division. But I do think he could have a really good year, and that's the only reason why I'm putting him at number 5. And I may get crucified for it, but that's why. But I do want to give a shout out, since our man George is on here, to my man Ty Tracy, because Ty Tracy had a really good year for the Giants. So I'll shout him out because my man George is on here. Just for you, George. Just for you. All right, everybody. So there it is, our top 5 running backs. And now we're going to finish our segment part before we hit put out the fire. But let's finish it up with the main flame. All right. So now with this main flame, we're doing our AFC East and NFC East previews / predictions. I'm excited about this one. I can't wait to see where everybody's thinking, because I think both of these divisions have some very interesting situations going on. You got the defending champions in one. You got the MVP in the other division. So we'll start with Joey. Joey, give me your AFC East and NFC East preview / predictions for the season.
All right, let's flip an imaginary coin here. All right, we'll go with AFC. So I've got the Buffalo Bills going 12-5. I still think that they're creme de la creme of the AFC East. I don't think that there's a whole lot in that division yet. I think that they're kind of still trying to figure themselves out in terms of the other 3 teams. But the Buffalo Bills are, consistently, one of the best teams in that division. And they've got that new stadium to christen, so of course they're going to show up and show out. I've actually got the Miami Dolphins coming in second. I think they're going to go 8-9, so they'll be in second, but it won't be pretty. I think they're fun and flashy or whatever, but I don't think that they're going to be super great. I've got the Patriots coming in third. I've got them going about 7-10. I think Vrabel, or good Lord, I cannot pronounce his last name. I think he's gonna bring some juice. But they're still in rebuild mode. They've got a lot of really good pieces from this draft, but they're still not quite there yet. And then in last, I've got the Jets. I mean, they're a consistent disappointment. You know, if there's one thing I can rely on, it's that the Jets suck. The NFC East, you know, I'm actually going to do this one backwards because I want to leave y'all with some suspense here. We're going to go in last place. I'm going to go the New York Giants. I think they're going to go 5-12. I think Jameis will get them a little bit more wins than what, you know, most people are anticipating, but I still don't think that they're that great. Above them, I've got the Dallas Cowboys going 9-8. You know, they'll hover around the playoff bubble. They may get a 10-7, and they may sneak into like a wild card spot, but they'll get knocked out like they normally do. And then, drum roll, please, because this is the exciting part. I actually got the Philadelphia Eagles coming in second, because I think that this is the year that the Washington Commanders actually take the division and really do some damage in the playoffs. I could legitimately see them as a Super Bowl contender. With what they did last year, I think that they are a very good team. And I hate the Commanders. I do not like them at all. I'm going on record saying that. And if that means that I never get credentialed for a Washington Commander football game, then so be it. But at the end of the day, I've never been a Commanders fan strictly because of the fact that I've lived in Virginia my entire life, and Virginians love to claim the Commanders, and they're not ours. They're not. Like, at the end of the day, they're in D.C. Virginia doesn't have a football team. You know, if you're going to like a football team in Virginia, pick either the gross, disgusting Wahoos or, you know, the brilliant Hokies. But the Commanders cannot, like, you can like them, but they're
make
not
that
Virginia's
two places
team.
you won't get credentialed.
I'm fine.
I'm good. You know what? Last time I went to UVA, they turned on the sprinklers on me. So, you know what? I could care less if I ever went back to UVA. Honestly, I'm better off not going there because I don't want to get wet in 30-degree weather again. No, thank you. And also, UVA, if you're listening, you owe me a camera lens because it completely ruined the one that we were using. So, you know what? I'm good.
Don't need you. Don't want you.
I know we're not on the put out the fire yet, but I started it. So
let's go, Joey.
Yeah, I'm mad at it. Lamar, we'll go to you next, man.
That's a hard one to follow, my guy.
Prediction, man. Give us your prediction.
All right. So are we doing AFC East or an NFC East, or are we doing the whole thing?
Yeah, both of them. Whatever way you want to start it.
Okay. So for the AFC East, of course, I have the Buffalo Bills. I took them at 13-4. I just think that they're one of the best teams in football, hands down. They can do it on all sides of the ball. Even though they showed up their defense last year, we still saw how incredibly nice they are. At number 2, I got the Jets. I took them at 8-9. I think that, you know, moving on from Aaron Rodgers and you know, that whole saga, I think that they have pieces, right? Offensively, they're very talented if they can put it together. Defensively, they hang around in games, and I think that if they stay healthy, they'll make an improvement. I do have the Patriots also going 8-9. I just think that Vrabel and company, they may have a way to win games, right? They're one of those teams from top to bottom in their roster. They just play. And even though they may not have that superstar talent and they may not be ready to take the next step, I think that they'll be right there in the mix and show people that they're made of more than what they think. And then in last place, I have the Dolphins. I don't know whether or not to do 6-11 or 7-10, but I think that they'll come in last. I just think that they still need more pieces. They do have Minka coming back, so that's interesting. But I got the Dolphins coming in last. And then we flip over to the NFC East. I do feel like Philadelphia is still the team to beat. I have them at 12-5. I think that there's another team that may go 12-5 in the NFC too, but they will get the number 1 overall seed. They're just hard to beat, man. They're hard to beat. They got pieces, they got leadership, experience, and they're hungry all the time, just like the city. So I got Philly. After that, I have Washington. I have them at 10-7. Definitely a playoff spot. Definitely dangerous. Just like Joey said, they made so many strides last year, and they'll be a team to That's not an easy out. At number 3, I have the New York Giants. I have both them and the Cowboys at 7-10. I think because of the division, they'll struggle. And my Giants fans and my people from Texas are not going to like this one. All right. But I do think because the two teams are stronger up top, I think that, they play them twice a year and it's going to be rough for them. But yeah, that's my NFC East and my AFC predictions.
Intriguing. Now, Lamont, you said something, and I think I know who the team is. And I'm going to take a swing at this. You said I think there's another team that's going to go 12-5 and get the 1 seed. Would that team be the Los Angeles Rams?
No, they're not.
NFC, Darrell, NFC.
But the Rams.
Rams.
I know. I'm just messing with them.
I want to say wait, but no, because I picked them to go to
good. I have the Rams winning that division, but I didn't take them at 12-5. I think the Eagles are going to get the number 1 seed. I guess are we going to keep going? So I'll save it.
No, that's another show. We won't go too deep in that.
Save it. It comes from your team's division. I guarantee that.
But it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, okay. Please be my Bucks.
It is.
We got to talk about that after this.
And is.
Oh,
it is.
And
is. Hey, look,
Joey.
Hey, look. All I know is the Bucks did beat the Eagles last year, if I'm not mistaken, and they beat the Lions last year. They're good when they got it all together and they're healthy. Jay, man, give us your predictions on the East on both ends.
I don't know. Does my head still fit in the camera?
That's funny.
So in the AFC East, I got the Buffalo going 12-5, the Jets 10-7, because I really think Justin Fields should have stayed with the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers should have retired. Plain and simple. What's he got except drama to bring to the league? Miami 9-8 and New England 8-9. Vrabel should have never been fired from the Titans. And I don't know what version of Tua we're going to get, so I can't be confident with Miami. Because with no Tua, there's really no quarterback that can toss the rock around for him. And Mike McDaniels has lost that team somewhere. I don't know what happened, but there's definitely a lack of cohesiveness among the players. Now to the NFC East, I got the Philadelphia Eagles 13-4, the Washington Commanders 12-5. The reason I don't have the Commanders winning the division is because that defense still needs to learn to grow and work together. And they did really good bringing pieces in during the draft. And Witt Jr. needs to really work on solidifying the blitz with the packages that he has. They tried to tighten up the secondary, which I loved. But, again, you got to see them all play together before you can really have analysis. I've got the Arlington Desperados, because I'm not going to say it because my wife will murder me, going 9-8, because I have zero confidence in Dak Prescott. I think he is just a reincarnated version, not that Tony Romo has died, but of Tony Romo. He got the bag and he sucks. He has either zero confidence or too much confidence in himself. And I don't care what weapons you put around him, they're still going to be the same lame team because Jerry Jones in his dementia world doesn't got it figured out.
Dementia world.
And lastly, I got the Giants 5-12 because Jameis will come in, throw 14 touchdowns and 15 interceptions, and then they'll bring in Russell Wilson. He'll go to throw it deep, and his arm will stay attached to the ball.
Man, that's hilarious. No, last week you were sending Jameis Winston to the Saints. Now his arm is being attached from the ball.
No, that's Russell Wilson.
Oh, that's Russell Wilson. Okay, all right. I was like, man, it's gonna be a rough year for Giants quarterbacks. Sorry, George.
No, I love like Jameis being back with a team around him that has confidence in him. Will do Jameis good. Jameis is one of the funnest guys to listen to. I mean,
Yeah. All right. So I'll go AFC first. So AFC, I got the Bills. I can't see the Bills not winning that division. This is where, all right, I'm gonna just throw this in there, but I think that the Jets are going to finish in second in that division this year. And I'm not gonna give wins because I don't know where that's gonna go. But what I will say is I think that I'm a big fan of Aaron Glenn. And I think finally they got a guy in there maybe who could turn it around from a mindset. The way he helped that defense in Detroit, some people are just good leaders of men. I had a feeling that he could be, as long as Woody Johnson don't have his son, playing Madden to figure out who they should have on the team. I think we Gucci. So as long as that doesn't happen, but I am very intrigued to see what Justin Fields does this year, because if the last time we really saw Justin Fields in those first 6 games of the season last year, and he didn't play bad. He didn't play super great, but he didn't play bad. And I think I think that he was growing, and if they may have let him play a little bit more, we may have seen a little bit more growth out of him. But when you bring in Russell Wilson and you got a Super Bowl winning quarterback, you go that route. So I got the Jets finished in second. Third,
Russell Wilson's on the other side of town with the Giants.
Huh?
We're talking about the Jets, and you said
my fault. I mean, I meant to say Justin Fields. My fault. So yeah, Justin Fields. I really feel good about Justin Fields, and I really think that they could do some. They got Bryce Hall at the running back position,
and he's familiar with the wide receiver and a tight end they got.
Right. I feel like that chemistry could come in handy, and they got a really good defense. And I think Aaron Glenn's just going to help enhance that. So that's just me praying that the Jets actually make the playoffs for the first time since I was Mr. Rollback officially. And that's years ago. So go Jets. I'm hoping that finally there's some Jet fans that can smile out there, even if it's the 7th seed.
Do you think any of our viewers know who Mr. Rollback is anymore?
Hey, that's fine. They can go research. At number 3, I'm going to go with the Patriots because I do think Vrabel Incorporated will kind of figure some things out and make some things go there. I think he's going to help that team grow because last year the Patriots were in a lot of games last year, and they just lost a lot of tight games last year. Remind me a lot of that San Francisco 49ers team that was losing games by like back in 2017 when they went 1-5 at the beginning of the season, but they kept losing games by 3 points, 4 points. They were in games but couldn't finish them. I think they will finish some of those games this year. They'll be a little bit more competitive. And then I got the Dolphins last because I really don't know what the Dolphins are doing anymore. I just don't know. And even though I like Mike McDaniel as a coach, I just don't know what they're doing anymore. In the NFC, I got the Eagles finishing on the top. I still think they're going to be, ready to roll. I got the Commanders finishing second. But it's going to be a very, very tough year for the Commanders. Like last year, obviously they win the 12 games. That's great. I think they win 10 games this year, and there's no shame in that because the schedule they got this year is tough. Like from top to bottom, there's no give. Like they're going to have a battle each week. Last year there was a couple games like, they should win that game. They should win that game. They may have one game like that this year, maybe 2, where you're like, they should win that game. The rest of them are like, no, those are going to be dogfights all the way through. So we're going to really find out how good this Commanders team is this year. I got the Cowboys finishing third, but I will say this. A lot of people the media people are talking about Dallas, but not in the way we would, not like winning Dallas. They're just talking about it because they're Dallas. But nobody's talking about Dallas winning. And I think them having a third place schedule will help. And they did get a little bit better, and if they can keep Dak healthy. So you got to watch out for them. I'm not going to say they win the division, but I think we cannot look past them. And then I got the Giants finishing last, and I know, George, you're not going to hear this. I'm sorry. But I do think the Giants also are a better team this year than they were last year, and they will win more games than they did last year. So that's what I have for that. All right, everybody, let's go to our last thing. It's time to finish this bad boy up, and it's time to put out the fire.
Fire, fire, burn on. Fire, 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 burn on. Fire, 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 legacy on fire.
All right, legacy on fire. It's time to put out the fire. Lamont, I'm going to start with you first. It's been a long time. Since I left you without a dope beat. Lamont, you go first, brother. Time for you to put out the fire.
I think I might have hinted on this before, but it is just so off-putting to me for these people, these men, to be hating on women's basketball. All right, I'm done with it. Like, bro, you're on here with these Twitter fingers hating on these women who are really good at what they do. And half the time, you ain't got a pot to go in or anything to do with it. And I feel like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, uplift our people. Like, they're women. Like, they're good. They're good at what they do. They spend as much time as anybody else does who's really good at what they do. I mean, if you don't like the product, fine, but I just don't understand what we're getting out of it and why we trying to take a crap on it. Like, leave women and these athletes, leave them alone. Like, I'm done.
Done, son. He's done. He's done. Fire's out.
Agree. Having girls, Darrell, I mean, we want to see them look up to somebody that's empowered.
Exactly. Exactly. You know how that is, Joey. I mean, it is you hate to see all the negativity, and it's crazy. Like, it's gotten to a point now where it's out of control. Like, everything, just and I won't go too far in it, but everything you see Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark do, it's great for the game, but it's not great for the game at the same time. It's bringing way more eyes to the WNBA than they've had in their entire history, probably since the beginning stages, where you had Cynthia Coopers and the crew and the Teresa Witherspoons killing the game out there.
Bring my comments back.
Yeah, well, the comments back, right? They're bringing everybody else back, but the comments, crazy work.
TNA is signing Sophie Cunningham to a contract.
Hey, that's funny. That's funny. Look, she out here giving people the business. But I just want to see, and I think Angel has kind of embraced the villain role a little bit, and I think she should, as she should. I mean, you gotta. That's how it kind of is. Here's the thing: people are mad because Caitlin didn't get the cover of 2K26, but who said that Caitlin wanted it? We don't know what happened behind the scenes, but we also know that even though Caitlin is the more popular one, her shoes sold out faster. There's a part that brings the Angels just polarized. So it'll be interesting to see. But I agree with you, Lamont. Jay touched on that last week too as well. So interesting. Joey, we head to you, man. Time for you to put out the fire, sir.
No, I will say one last thing on that same note is like, no, it is important for little girls to have someone to look up to. And, at the end of the day, if the WNBA is it, I mean, that's what it should be. And we should be uplifting those people. I mean, Livia's favorite player was Liz Kitley forever. And so, also shout out Hokies for that. But yeah, as far as me putting out the fire, Darrell, I can't take it no more. I gotta bring up the All-Star snubs, man. I can't not do it. There was so many players that got left off the list that just it's getting on my nerves. And then so many other players who were not that great ended up getting an All-Star bid. And like, dude, I mean, my Cubs, for example, like there was like, I mean, how do you not put Seiya Suzuki and Michael Bush in the All-Star game? Like, Michael Bush is up there in terms of like most home runs hit this year in the National League, and he's not in it. If you want to talk about some of the more premier names, like Juan Soto, I know he's not having like the best year, but he should still be an all-star. Like on the AL East side, you got like Spencer Torkelson that didn't make it. Ellie De La Cruz didn't get picked. And instead they, put a player who is way past his prime and probably doesn't deserve to be there anymore. Every year this happens where like there's just a set of players that like should have been in that just weren't, but like this year's were really bad. It was really bad this year.
It's crazy because, and I brought it last week, but De La Cruz and that player Joey is talking about is Mr. Francisco Lindor. He made the All-Star team, but when De La Cruz, I mean, pretty much every statistic except for one. And I'm like, so this guy doesn't get in? And if you're the league, why don't you put De La Cruz in there? Because he's on MLB The Show. He's one of the headliners. You want to be the stars. And when he deserves to be there, when you see it statistic-wise, why don't you market your star?
every statistic except for one. He is the number one shortstop in all of Major League Baseball right now, and you're going to tell me that he doesn't deserve to be in the All-Star game? Wrong. Absolutely wrong. I can't.
Oh, we good? Like, you can't be good. There's no way. Jay, we head to you, brother. It's time for you to put out the fire.
Well, this is for the Commanders. Why y'all not paying T-Mac?
Yes.
He has proven what he can do, what he's brought for, your young quarterback, the safety blanket he is. Give the man the money. He's played as much as he can. He is not the tallest. He's not the fastest, but he deserves to have money. Give him what he needs. Keep him there, because you lose him, you're losing that team. Because, let's be honest.
Yeah, Terry, the situation is crazy to me because, Terry, he did held out a couple of years ago. I think it was about 3 years ago. He held out. They paid him right before camp, which is what I kind of feel like is going to happen this time too. I just don't see them letting him go too long into camp without signing him. Now, you heard some trade rumors here and there, but my thing is, why mess up that chemistry? Why mess up the chemistry with him and with Jaden and Terry? And here's the thing: I love Deebo Samuel. Don't get me wrong, but we don't know if Deebo gonna stay healthy. If he goes down, who he throwing the ball to?
Well, when he reported there, he was like 3 Snickers bars short of being like 12 ton.
Yeah, it was a little tough. A lot of people were criticizing Deebo because of his weight. Now, when I was out there, I thought that he didn't look too bad, but I think he probably could have worked on a couple of things, but he still looked good. He looked healthy. Let's put it that way. Okay. But he probably could have shed a little couple pounds, and he may probably be working on that right now. I'm pretty sure he heard all the yapping on the internet because people were laughing. It was not pretty. It was like, hey, man, Deebo looks slow.
Like, what's that tackle doing running routes out here?
Yeah. It was insane. It was insane. But, yeah. Most definitely. Well, fellas, that's it. Episode 78 in the books. Yes. We're going to be back in a couple of weeks. Your boy got a vacation, and it's going to be a rough run. But end of July, we'll be back to bring you our next episode of Legacy on Fire. We're going to get into the I think we're doing the North next time. I think we're doing the NFC and AFC North on our next one. So just stay tuned for that. Thank you all for tuning in with another episode.
And it's beautiful to see Lamont back.
Isn't it? Lamont, it's so good to see you, man.
I love y'all, bro. I love y'all. Glad to be back.
And Lamont's a traveling man. Lamont's all over the place. But before we go, Joey, anything you want to say before we go?
Banana ball tomorrow.
Hey,
I'm so excited.
I'm definitely post a lot of pictures, please.
Oh yeah, Legacy Maker gonna have all the goods, bro. Me and Katie are ecstatic. We're really looking forward to it. It's definitely the weirdest and strangest thing I think will ever have graced the cover of Legacy Maker, but it's gonna be awesome. And we're really happy that they decided to come to our neck of the woods.
Seeing the mermaid stuff that we've done.
Hey, you know what? It'll be up there though. It'll be
top 5. And it'll be top 5.
No, it's gonna be really fun. We're really looking forward to it. We've got their schedules going down. We got their schedules like 2 days ago. And it is like the most lax media policy I've ever seen in my life. They were like, we're going to get to the ballpark around this time. And you can come in, film whatever, take pictures of whatever, interview whatever player you want. Like, it's the strangest thing. And I'm here for it because, that's what we like. We like the ability to get as much coverage as we possibly can. And, so yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
I can't wait to see that all.
Just have a blast, man.
Anything you want to say before we go, brother?
Oh man, just glad to be back. Missed y'all for sure. We gotta do it some more. Y'all make sure y'all check out everything Legacy Maker Sports Network has going on, man. So much talent out there, so much great coverage. So, like, share, subscribe, tune in, share, hit us up, man, because we doing this for y'all. So I love to see it. Love to be a part of this. And yeah, man, just glad to be back.
All right. Good to have you back. Jay, before we get out of here, anything you want to say, brother?
Just follow up on what LT said. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. I mean, we like doing this, talking sports. I mean, besides that, what else we got? Oh, we got movies.
Yeah. We got nothing else. All right.
What? It's 2 more months, and we'll have football back.
Football, bring it back.
Look, we got a preseason game in 2 weeks.
Let's go.
That's not real football.
It isn't, but it'll at least give you look. You know how they get it's like, I need to fix. Well, you get just a little bit of fix, just a little bit. You get the helmet feel. You hear the commentators like, "Yo, we're back. Like, we're close." But I can't wait, man. Football season is right around the corner. That means trash talk and all that fun stuff.
Bees and I are looking at going up to the Steelers game.
Oh, that's right. They do play the Steelers here, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm going to the Broncos Cowboys in Denver this year. What's up?
Ooh.
I have converted my wife to an Ohio State fan, and her favorite player is Jack Sawyer. And since he got drafted,
what have you done?
I have
Becca.
What have you done to the wonderful?
Done to her? You never spot hands off her. She's a sight.
Well, that strip sack, she was high stepping with me.
That was beautiful. I won't lie.
Hey, speaking of college football, those articles for Tennessee, VT, and Run Up College, they're gonna be dropping real soon.
Yes, we got Roanoke week. Roanoke dropping next week, and then Tech after that, and then you will see some Tennessee after that. So y'all be every Friday for the next couple of Fridays. We got a couple previews going on. Y'all make sure y'all check those out on LegacyMakeOurSports.com. All right, everybody, that's it. Episode 78 of Legacy on Fire in the books. I'd like to thank my esteemed panel, Jay, Lamont, and Joey, for joining me for another great episode. Shout out to our man James Brown. He's on vacay this week. I hope you're having a good time out there, brother. We'll catch up with you soon. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Legacy on Fire on the Legacy Maker Sports Network and Aaron on the Television. Peace.